Gary Keller's dirty real estate hack to 10x your listings and win more seller deals. Now, if you don't know who Gary Keller is, he's the founder of a company called Keller Williams Realty. So the company is worth well over $2 billion at this point, and obviously Gary's personal net worth is well over $200 million. Now, in order to understand this hack, you need to understand that there has been thousands and thousands and thousands of real estate agents, real estate brokers, real estate teams that have come before you. So recently I was rereading one of his books called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And in that book, Gary had a conversation with a real estate agent. And obviously at this point, Gary has seen thousands and thousands of 5-figure, 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure real estate teams and companies come and go. But he had this conversation with completely new real estate agent, and basically the real estate agent came up to him and he asked him, okay, Gary, how can I make my business successful? How can I make a lot of money in real estate? Basically what Gary said is that, like, son, obviously Gary is a little older and the person starting out was a little younger. So he said, son, you must understand that you're not the first person who wants to make a lot of money. You're not the first person who wants to be a successful real estate agent, right? So you need to understand that people have lived before you. And something about this kind of stuck with me where I kind of understood that a lot of the times when most real estate agents, if you're like most realtors right now in the marketplace, people are always trying to figure out something new, something out of the box in order to get listings. But the truth is, for most real estate agents, let's say an average realtor, they make around $50,000, right? Now, most of those deals, they maybe get like 5, 10, 20 deals a year, right? So most of those deals, they typically come from referrals or sphere of influence. So this is the case for most real estate agents in their business. And for some reason, like a lot of times, realtors are getting stuck at a certain income level. Never kind of be able to seem to go beyond that. So for you, what Gary's trying to say is that success leaves clues. People who get specific results, they typically do specific actions, they typically do specific things in order to get those results. And the pathway for excellence, the pathway for you to get from $100,000 per year, let's say, to $300,000 per year, is not going to be one where you have to figure out something completely new, out of the box, something that nobody has ever done. Because exactly this last year, there's already been thousands of people just like you, and they've gotten to the commission level that they want. So there is really no point in kind of trying to figure out, spending all that energy and trying to do something completely new. But rather, what you should do is to look at those people who have already done the thing that you want to achieve and then follow their actions, follow exactly what they've done. And when I did some further research on this, and obviously I've been in the business for the last half a decade, obviously I heard a bit more about this earlier as well, but I looked at people such as, again, Gary Keller, studied Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Albert Einstein, all these successful people that you're seeing, all of them actually had mentors, somebody that actually modeled their success from. So the point Gary was trying to make is that you should be modeling excellence. You should be kind of becoming like a detective or kind of like an investigator, somebody who asks a lot of questions and really tracks down all those different things that are producing those specific results. Instead of being kind of like a scientist where you're trying out maybe this software one day, and one day you're trying out this lead source, and one day you try to do this thing, right? So instead of doing all those different things, you should be becoming like a detective where you really like track down the success and just model it based off that. Now, building from success of others is actually one of the fundamental aspects of learning. So when you're in school, you have a math teacher, and the math teacher tells you exactly this is how you do it, and then maybe the math teacher actually fixes the math problems for you or with you, right? So the same pattern that's actually been the case for most of our lives. It's really like, for some reason, a lot of times real estate agents are trying to become that scientist and trying to figure out something on their own. Now, there's another piece to this that relates back to that I've seen, because after working with 260 real estate agents one-on-one, I've had a luxury to speak with thousands and thousands of agents and just kind of pattern recognize a lot of situations. So a lot of times when realtors are trying to model the success, they typically look at an agent, let's say in their office. Maybe the agent is doing 20 deals a year more or 30 deals per year more, right? The issue with that is, let's say you have an agent like that who's been in the business for 10, 20, 30 years, right? And you've been in the business, let's say, for 5 or 10 years. Well, the thing is that realtor might be just more successful just because they've been in the business for longer periods of time, right? So there's really no point in doing that. And also what I see a lot at times is that people are asking people, okay, what should I be doing to be successful? They go to the agent, they go to the broker, okay, what should I be doing to be more successful? The problem with that is they'll tell you to do things like cold calling, they'll tell you to do things such as door knocking, or they'll tell you to do things such as, let's say, mailer campaigns, right? They may be telling you one thing, but you actually need to look at their business and look at what they're doing. And so oftentimes those things are going to be different. They may be doing something completely different, but they'll tell you to do another thing. And there's also other piece to this where oftentimes if you are looking at an agent in your local office, they may be not that much successful than you that you really want to model the success from. So there's a rule called the 10x rule where if you're making $100,000 per year, you should probably be looking at people who make, say, $1 million a year or $2 million per year and really model of that, because there's enough difference in the business models that you guys are running. So look at what actions are those people taking that you're not taking. Look at what beliefs those top people do have that you may not have. And look at what small decisions are these people constantly making that you're not making. The easiest way to do this is to look at the social media. Go to the top agents' social media right now. Go to Ryan Insurance social media. Go to Josh Altman's social media. Like, look at social media. It's probably the easiest place to look at in terms of success patterns. And what you'll find is that most agents, let's say they're making $50,000 per year. Most of their feeds on Facebook, as an example, are filled with listings, filled with articles. Often they're filled with automated content, automated articles from KV Court, things like that. But when you go to the agent on the top, you go to the agent who's making a lot more money, $10 million, $20 million or more per year, what you'll find is that it's always personal branding. There's always the realtor in the content. There's always the broker owner, the realtor is speaking in front of the content. So start looking at much greater detail in terms of what successful people are doing instead of trying to put your creative hat on and kind of figure out the whole thing on your own. So this process exactly is actually called modeling, like I mentioned to you before. And the reality is, like, most of the times you want to start by leveraging proven models. You want to look at something that's already successful, and then after you look at something that's already successful, you then want to put your creative hat on and try to make it your own. And the issue is, like, most people, they're doing the other way around, where they first put on the creative hat, trying to figure out something completely new. They don't know if it's working or not. And then from there, they're trying to, make that a proven model, which is obviously very, very low probability play. So most realtors, they don't fully understand this. Like I mentioned to you before, most people, they're more than likely, again, using creativity as a shortcut to cover up the lack of a model, the lack of a knowledge, lack of a skill in terms of achieving a specific result. So the truth is when you add, again, that creativity and you add a proven model, you'll then have much higher chance of succeeding and actually achieving your goals. Reinventing the wheel, having tried, hundreds of different things for online marketing. We've done email marketing, we've done TikTok ads, we've done Facebook ads, we've done everything you can think about in terms of online marketing. I can tell you, reinventing the wheel is a lot of work, it's a lot of testing. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars to figure out one new model, something that actually works. So if you're expecting that you're going to reinvent the new wheel just by putting out $50 to an ad or putting out $50 to, something else, probably that's not going to work. So on the other hand, I think if you discover a model, something that's already working, use systems that have already been used by thousands of agents, just like you, and they've gotten success with that, obviously, if you do the same actions, you will get similar or better results in many cases. And in fact, when you're able to do this, when you have a proven model, and especially if you do get some help, it can almost feel a little bit like cheating because all the other people are struggling hard to trying to figure out things, they're trying to test out things. As with you just go out there, you leverage a proven model, you do exactly what the model says, and oftentimes you become very successful very, very quickly. And that's how you know, like, you have a powerful model. It just feels like you're almost cheating because it works so well and it works so quickly. Now, if you'd like to see an interview with one of our clients who leverage a proven model and proven system to grow his listing business by 50% in 1 year, I'll leave a link below and you'll be able to check out an interview with one of our clients, Zach Coops. So just click the link here, you'll be able to check out the full interview where we cover a lot of the things that caused him to be able to get to situations where he was able to go from cold calling, strangers, talking to people who don't know him, to being one of the most recognized realtors in his marketplace. And again, often being recognized on the streets due to implementing a proven system and a process on social media. So just click the link here. You'll be able to learn a lot of good insights, great strategies for social media right now.